For many years, residents in the state of Utah have blamed Californians for the changes that have occurred. But how much of that statement is actually true? And who is really living in the state right now? And how has the state changed? So on this video, I'm going to discuss this and much more, and you might be surprised with the facts. So let's get after it right now. And welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent, and if you want to learn everything about the state of Utah, you've come to the right channel. You may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. YouTube will send you an alert every time I release a new video. And apart from making videos, I help people buy or sell real estate. So if I can be of any assistance, I'll put my contact information on the screen. It will also be in the show notes down below. Little bit of background information. I'm not too sure if you were aware. From 2010 to 2020, Utah was the fastest growing state in the nation. No state grew faster than Utah. But with all this growth, you might be surprised to know that 62% of our residents were born in the state of Utah. Yes, 62% were born and still live in the state. So, residents from California do not make up the largest population in Utah. Well, how does that compare to our neighboring states? Well, in Idaho, 47% of the residents are homegrown. In Arizona, it drops down to 39%, which is understandable. There are many people that have moved to the Sunshine State from the northern states for many years, 20, 30, 40 years. As long as I can remember, areas like Chicago, Green Bay, some of the coldest and areas that get the most snow in the country, many people, especially retirees, have been known to move to Arizona. And when we look at the state of Nevada, it drops down to 26%. Bit of a surprise. I was surprised with that number also. I would imagine if you took a poll from people outside of the United States, outside of the country, about Nevada, comparing Nevada to Utah, I would imagine that most people would say Nevada would be the place to be, and that people who grew up in Nevada would probably stay there their whole life. After all, places like Las Vegas are commercialized around the world, the glitz, the glamour, how great it is. But only 26% of their residents are homegrown. So what is it about Utah, and why does it stick out as a homegrown state? I have two potential reasons. Number one, we have a young population compared to the rest of the country. And number two, we do have big families. It's not uncommon in Utah to have a family of 4, 6, 8, 10. And I'm not joking when I say 6, 8, and 10. So Utah has a lot of natural growth. So people that are moving into the state are not the only people to blame for our traffic congestion, our housing demand, rental prices being up, home prices being up. The people who are moving here are not solely to blame. So is it Californians' fault that we have some of these issues? No, it is not. Now, California is our largest single source of migrants into the state. When we look at all the states that people are moving from, California ranks as the largest, but, a real big but, California is a very large state. The population of the entire state of Utah, the entire state, is equivalent to the population of Orange County, California, and that is just one county in the state of California. And Utah is not the top destination for people that are moving out of the state of California. Some of the top areas would be Texas, Nevada, particularly the Las Vegas and Reno areas. Arizona, areas like Tucson and Phoenix. Our neighbors next door, Colorado. Denver is very popular with people moving from California, and the state of Florida. All these areas receive more people from California than Utah does. And you might be shocked to know that more people move from our neighboring states to Utah than from the state of California. Now, you do have to adjust the numbers for the population of each individual state, but when you adjust those numbers with the adjusted numbers, roughly 5.3 migrants per 1,000 residents moved from the state of Idaho, When it comes to Wyoming, 3.2 migrants per 1,000, and for California, it was 0.57 per 1,000 residents. So will the state of Utah continue growing at this fast pace? I don't think so. I think it will slow down. Let's take what happened during COVID-19. Many Americans around the country, they reevaluated their lives. They had the opportunity to work remote, work from home. This whole craze just took off like crazy. So many people took advantage of that opportunity and moved to places that they had a desire maybe to live in now. And many companies liked the idea. They had the ability to rent less office space. They had some lower utility bills and many more benefits. So with people having the ability to move around the country, work remotely, in 2021, Utah saw almost 35,000 people move to the state of Utah. That number was 10,000 higher than the previous year. And I imagine in 2022, when the numbers are released, it will also be very high. But now that the COVID numbers are coming down, we don't hear much about the COVID pandemic. I would assume that our net migration will probably drop, but there could always be another round of something, COVID, something else that could bring more people to the state. Also another factor, if we go into an economic recession, I would assume that our migration numbers will also decline. After all, many people who moved here, they moved because of work, especially in the tech industry, the defense industry. The whole Silicon Slopes was created just over maybe the last 10 years, and the defense industry has just been booming. If there are less job openings in those fields and many other job opportunities, it also will lead to fewer people that are moving here for jobs. So in conclusion, are Californians to blame for some of the issues we're having in the state of Utah? No, not in my opinion. I'd love to know in the comments down below your opinion. If you have any kind of questions, by all means, reach out to me. Glad to answer anything that I can. Until the next video, take care and stay safe.